reason I branched out into writing The Path of Zarathustra is because the biggest crisis faces the Zoroastrian community, and that is to become extinct. What I said, the slogan was, there is no belief without believers. If we find any virtue in Zoroastrianism, and it is an extremely centrally and simply ethical religion with its big slogan of Humata Hukta Huvareshta, which means good thoughts, good words, good deeds. If we need that doctrine to survive, we need to have believers. And Parsis are facing a dwindling population. And what I wanted was to stimulate a debate about the dwindling of that population and the possible extinction of the race. But should we talk about it as a race? Is it a race or is it a religion? Of course, Parsis are a race in India, and Zoroastrianism is the religion. Zoroastrianism has to be wider. A religion, a belief has to be wider than a race. But some Parsis believe that the race is the vehicle of the religion and it can't be otherwise. I want to stimulate a debate to examine that premise and to examine the idea of how, or the ideas of how this race and the religion are to survive. That's the dedication of the Path of Zarathustra, and certainly, as with any religion of ethical upstanding, and I believe Zoroastrianism is one of the foremost, God is with us, God is love. I am personally and atheistically inclined, but very much with the Zoroastrian ethical teaching. I was born a Parsi, Zoroastrian, and right through my youth, I was brought up in the Zoroastrian religion, following all the rituals, having a navjot with my sister, and being brought up in a pretty religious household, which used to follow the rituals of Zoroastrianism. I never quite understood the religion at the age of 7, 8, 9, 10, because as Parsis do, I learnt the prayers and repeated them and did my kasti and my sadra and so forth, and I knew what the ceremonials were. I had to attend my grandmother's funeral at the age of 8, and so I learned about the Towers of Silence and about the peculiarities of the religion as separate from the Hinduism and Christianity and Islam that surrounded us in Pune, where I was born and brought up. Now, I subsequently went to college in Pune and then abroad to Cambridge University in Britain, and my curiosity was stimulated by the history of the Persians, of the Achaemenids and the Sasanians, because I was constantly bombarded, or well, not constantly, but frequently bombarded with Alexander the Great and how the Greeks were the center of the world and how the Arabs had invented astronomy and so on and so forth. And I began to try and investigate, not in any academic way, but in a general way, the truths of these things. And recently have read several books on Zoroastrianism. I wouldn't pretend to be a scholar at all, but I think that there are extremely interesting discoveries and contentions about the Achaemenid allegiance to Zoroastrianism, and then the Sasanian allegiance to the prophet Zoroaster, who is not mentioned by the earlier Zoroastrians, by Darius, Cyrus, and Xerxes.